My parents really didn't want me to work. They wanted me, they thought if you study too much and get too, educated, nobody will marry you. My husband met me and married me in 3 weeks, and he had done no due diligence whatsoever because he thought he'd got a good Indian wife who could cook, and I'd never been inside the kitchen. And I didn't work for the first 10, 12 years of my life at all. I learned to cook, obviously, because I love food. And my first job was actually teaching cookery to adults. Beating in my heart was the fact that I wanted to do something for women. And so I set up the Asian Women of Achievements Awards very much on a wing and a prayer. And then I decided I want to do something for the bigger population. So we set up 10 years ago, so it's a very exciting year for us, the Women of the Future Awards, which is for all women of all backgrounds, but they have to be under 35. I thought I'd be just like my mom. My mom was like entertained 3 times a week. My father worked in the corporate world. You know what it's like in India. Every day people come over. But I really didn't have any aspirations to work or think I'd ever be a career woman. Absolutely nothing. And I think it's all just almost by chance everything has happened. So when people talk about strategic vision and, where do you want to go, I had none whatsoever. I get an idea and I am so impatient, so I can't wait and work out a business plan or whatever. When I decided to write my first cookery book called Spice Magic, because everybody told me, why don't you write a book? And I had all these pupils. I didn't go and find a publisher because I was too lazy to ring up, because you'd have to submit information to them. I just went ahead, wrote it, got an editor, really worked very hard getting it together, and then decided to publish myself. And I had all these books which nobody would buy because nobody had heard of me. So when you ring up Waterstones or Books, etc., are you a celebrity? Are you on TV? Zero. So nobody bought any books. And then I thought I have to be creative. So I said, if I bring my wok into your store and make one of the recipes, would you let me sell my book? And one of them said yes, and so the smell of garlic got people to come. They saw how it was thing, and they'd buy the book. I only have 20% of my hearing, and that I lost the hearing about 8-10 years ago. And so that was a real challenge when it first came on, because all the work I do is about communicating. So if you can't understand what people are saying, you're no good at. So I mean, it was overcoming that, but I wear 2 very powerful hearing aids, and even then sometimes I get the questions all wrong. I'm very open about it. So I think what's helped me is to be quite upfront to people, saying, I'm not embarrassed by it, there's nothing I can do. And I hope that'll be a lesson to other women, to be able to, people don't want to be vulnerable, but in fact I found that when you are, then there are all kinds of people who help you. So I think the quality I least like in people is arrogance. I think, humility is a great quality. So for me, I may have done all this, but, there's so many people who've been on that journey with me, who've made it possible for me to do it. And it's their spirit that I'm kind of keeping alive. My mantra is, you have not lived a perfect day unless you've done something for someone who can never repay you. So underlying everything I ever do is about kindness and collaboration, because I think kindness is the most powerful, empowering tool that all of us have access to. So the minute you start, I found you do a kind deed and the next person wants to do more. And so you build up this whole community of people who really care about others, as opposed to thinking, what's in it for me? And I think I want people to think, that they can do anything if they really want, if they have the right attitude, if they have the right energy. That's what people buy into. So when you commit yourself, then providence moves too. The things I would never compromise on are my integrity and what my value system. So if somebody I come across who's wanting to be part of our program, but whose values don't resonate with mine, however useful they may be, I would never work with them. In the long run, it doesn't work. You have to work with people who share your values. Believe in yourself, really. It's about passion. Bring passion into what you do, because that's what makes success. Be kind, really. Build great networks. I think, too many people have very insular networks, like just if they're bankers, it's that. And I think too many people spend so much time at work. It's so tunnel vision. Go out and meet people different to yourself. Don't be afraid of taking risks. And don't be afraid of failure, because there's no straight trajectory to success.